Hey all, X-Art student here. Today I'm going to bring you along as I become a blacksmith apprentice for a day. This all started because my brother called me up and he's like, hey, you want to make a knife this weekend? I was like, okay, it has to be cool though. And then we came up with the concept for a whale knife. He's never done it, so it was a fun challenge, and I've obviously never forged before, so it was really fun. I was definitely the apprentice. He's the one with the main power and showing me what to do, and I just helped him along. He said that I was good, but I'm his only apprentice, so don't really know. So something I didn't realize was how hot it really was. Yes, it was a sunny day, but the forge is so hot you did not need a jacket. And mainly our days looked like this. We only worked on this for 2 days, but it was heating up the metal, hitting it, and then grinding to the shape that you needed, or just hitting until it was that shape you wanted. It kind of reminded me of clay, where you had to keep smushing where you needed to, use the tools in the right area. My brother's been forging for a few years now, and I'm lucky that I get to have him as like a sculptural guide, and also he knows what he's doing, so it's really cool. My brother was so skilled at the tools, and I definitely was not. So if you notice with the metal, it always has to be that red hot, so then you're able to mold it the way that you want. And if it's not hot, I think that it could break sometimes, or it's just easier to use. I'm really not good at this. I was just trying my best to keep up and learn what I could and try to shape the pieces the way that it should look. It was so cool seeing that the hammering actually was making a difference. You can see the shape forming, and damn, I'm actually making a difference. And my brother's so skilled with the tools, and he's good at teaching too. So it was fun being able to try, but he has way more strength and power than I do. So we're currently working on the belly of the whale and trying to also create the tail shape. So it took us a while and our shapes kind of turned out a little bit wonky. We got the right idea and we're trying to build off of that. And it was so cool being able to use the shape of the anvil to actually create the curves that you wanted. My brother said this was actually a horseshoe making anvil, and it's really cool. You could use all of the corners and the circles and the angles to create the piece that you want. As long as it's like a stable area, you can bend your metal the way you need. And here we're using the chisel to try splitting apart the metal. We're actually creating the whale tail using it, as well as the tongs. We'd use the grinder after to sand or grind off those little pieces to make it a smooth surface. I love being able to look at this footage and see how you can literally see the metal moving based on the heat and the pounding. It really reminds me of using clay. While we were working on that first knife, my brother decided to try a different method for a second knife, where he did an exact sketch of the whale shape on the metal and grinded it down. So we were both working on different grinding tools to work on our different knives. It was actually kind of fun and looks so pretty. With my knife, I was trying to get it closer to the sketch because our knife became very long compared to the original drawing. So I was trying to get those nice curves and really make it more defined because I felt like it kind of looked like a sea lion. And of course we're working with power tools, so at this point my brother's knife flung and the band, I think it's called, of the grinder, the sandpaper, came off and snapped. So we were all okay, and my brother actually finished his knife on his own time. I think I was resting or on a bike ride. His looked amazing. We eventually found more time to get back into my knife. We were hand sawing, using chisels to create the shapes that we wanted, and really just trying to save this knife because it kind of looked funky. Here, we're hammering the metal so then it spreads it out further so it becomes a fatter whale. Another thing my brother mentioned was it's important to hammer on both sides, or else one side might look a little funky and like curved. So that's what we were trying to do, even out each side. So as I mentioned, I was definitely the assistant on this. My brother knows way more about forging because he makes knives and spears and all these cool things for like years. So it was cool being able to watch and record. I kind of wish I knew what he knew in order to do this stuff, but it was cool being able to sit back and try learning it. Right now, he's grinding off the excess, like the weird looking bits, slowly hand sanding it. We were trying to make sure that the shape was the way that we wanted before we quenched it in oil. At first we started up heating the oil with the hand torch, then we put it next to the forge to get hot, made sure our knife was hot and even, then we put it in. And oh my god, so pretty, it went on fire. I did not know it would happen. My brother knew and he's like, you should record this. In the most nonchalant way he could. Afterwards, we got the shape, it was quenched so it was like hardened and stuff. Now we're going in with the hand torch to try changing the color. Apparently, when you put the heat on the metal for a long time, it could turn a light yellow, brown to blue. Here, my brother is trying to make the shape of the blade. We did the blade on one side, and I think it looks really cool. He was testing it out on paper to see if it cut well. He wasn't too happy with how sharp it was, but I was like, you know what, it's for display, it doesn't matter to me as long as it looks pretty. We went back in with the hand torch. Turns out you need to hold it on one spot for a while and then the color changes. My brother went in with some oil, maybe to seal it or to bring out the color, I'm not really sure, but it looked really cool and shiny. And now we're actually up to the final shots of this knife. I love it, and I'm so happy that I get to share different art techniques with another family member. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Bye!